All right, thanks so much, Joey. Time now for a check of our top stories, and with the mission to unite nations through music and bring the music to communities in Puerto Rico, the International Chamber Orchestra of Puerto Rico presented their first round of concerts in the metro area of the island. Our Francis Felix reports.
The International Chamber Orchestra of Puerto Rico present their first concert of the 7th annual festival, Nuestras Raíces, Our Roots, in the Hotel Vanderbilt in Condado, Puerto Rico.
This is just such an amazing feeling of joy to be able to continue sharing music when so many people are not being able to do anything because of the pandemic. It just makes us so happy that we have been able to complete everything without any incidents. The fact that we are able to bring musicians from 12 different countries and that everybody's flying into Puerto Rico and that everybody that has come has arrived safely and continues to be safe is a testament to the fact that when you do things and you believe that you can do them properly, everybody can really get together and achieve things that are just of great magnitude.
How do you feel to be promoting this type of event that enrich our culture in Puerto Rico?
The feeling is amazing, particularly because we have a mission. We have a mission that started 7 years ago, and the mission is to provide an incredible experience for all the children and families around Puerto Rico. Free concerts, free music, and the chance to be able to see, listen, and touch close on a full orchestra like never seen before. We are very fortunate to have the Vanderbilt as an opening scene. They have believed in us from the beginning, and every year they allow us to do this.
This concert will be free and for all the family in the metro area, center and south of the island. From Condado, Puerto Rico, Francis Felix.
Wow. All right, thanks so much, Francis. Meantime, Grenada celebrated its 48th anniversary of political independence from Britain on Monday with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell. He explained the impact the pandemic is continuing to have on the country. Addressing a military parade where spectators were not allowed to attend, Mitchell said despite the dark cloud of the pandemic, Grenada was looking forward to the future with hope. Grenada has recorded 211 deaths, over 12,000 infections, all linked to the virus. The Prime Minister said other than the bumps along the road that threatened to derail the island's progress, there is much to be proud of as they approach a half-century as a nation. He said despite the extensive impact of the pandemic, which is intensifying the usual developmental challenges that small island states face, the country is indeed well poised to continue its upward trajectory of growth and advancement of its people.
Sisters and brothers, for yet another year, COVID-19 has caused our independence celebrations to be a mere fraction of its usual flamboyance. A bittersweet reality, but an absolutely necessary one as we adhere to the established protocols which discourage mass gatherings to minimize the spread of infections. Sisters and brothers, despite the dark cloud of the pandemic that continues to hover our country, and in fact the entire world, we look to the future with hope, and we embrace the decisions that will facilitate the best possible outcomes for all our people.
And meantime, a possible merger of Frontier and Spirit Airlines could be good news for the Caribbean region. Frontier Airlines has announced its plans to buy Spirit Airlines for a reported nearly $3 billion. The deal would create the nation's fifth largest carrier. Both airlines fly into and out of the U.S. Virgin Islands and several parts of the Caribbean at discounted rates. And according to the companies, the combined airline would be more competitive against its larger rivals and to give travelers more options. Our One Caribbean News' Emily Matson tells us how experts say the deal could really impact flyers.
Frontier and Spirit are joining forces. The two largest low-cost airlines in the U.S. are hoping to merge.
They have very similar business models, very low fares, fees for all the extras, things even like carry-on bags, but they are overall generally the cheapest way to fly.
And if the deal is approved, it would create the fifth largest airline in the nation. But what does this mega merger mean for flyers?
Probably not a good thing for the average American flyer, simply because having more airlines and more competition in the market generally drives down lower fares.
It's very rarely the case that airline mergers are good for the consumer, at least in the narrowest sense.
Experts agree that fares aren't likely to get any lower. It's still unclear what brand the two companies would fly under, but Frontier says the combined company would offer more than 1,000 daily flights to over 145 destinations. And travel experts say the merger could give travelers more options to fly to mid-sized cities as well as underserved regions, perhaps adding more flights to islands here in the Caribbean.
You might start to see a lot of Caribbean islands that maybe never had budget service before. You might start to see a lot more interesting options to Mexico or to Central America.
Frontier and Spirit say the deal will allow them to grow and hire more employees. But before it comes a reality, the merger has to be approved by federal antitrust regulators.
You don't have to worry about this in the context of your summer 2022 travel plans. It's going to take time for this merger to be approved by the Department of Justice.
Emily Matson, One Caribbean News.